Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia, Season 5, Episode 8. Still doing Class 1A versus Class 1B. We are 8 episodes deep. Hopefully, which is probably going to happen, is I'm thinking this kind of arc is going to go up to episode about 13. I believe we're getting 25 episodes altogether. So this arc is going to go up to episode 12 or episode 13, and then everybody's going to start liking My Hero Academia again. Definitely a slower arc. I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, it's definitely entertaining, but it's been going on for 8 episodes, and it kind of leaves you wanting something else. You know, it kind of wants you to wrap up these team battles. Let's get into the actual meat of the season. Let's see what's going on with the League of Villains and Hawks. You know, what's going on with the Todoroki family. We keep getting hints of that throughout the season as well as we did during this episode. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are complaining that it's kind of boring. But I enjoyed the fight sequence, so that's all I'm just gonna kind of leave it there. I did enjoy the fight sequence, but if you're looking for a lot of dialogue and a lot of, you know, kind of mental things going on, it not happening. It's basically people fighting each other, and that's all she wrote. So we have Ida, we have Ojiru, Soji, and Todoroki is the team. And then as for 1B, it is, let's see, Tetsu, Pony, it is Juzo, and I am forgetting somebody. Let me take a look here. Oh, Sen Kibara. So fairly quickly in this episode, you know, Sen gets taken out by Ida. As we saw from the preview of last episode, Ida kind of uses his, like, new mufflers to be super fast, super quick, blow up the ice. Although Mr. Melty Guy, who is Juzo, his abilities are definitely slowing Ida down because he's literally running on mush. So there's not enough give, really, for him. He can move on it. He can basically run on water at this point, but there's not enough give for him to, you know, step onto something like actual concrete. So it does kind of slow him down throughout the episode. But he quickly gets Mr. Drill Boy, Mr. Zen in jail, and then they are one up. Then we have kind of Pony versus Shoji, and they're duking it out pretty good. It seems like a fairly even match. Seems like Shoji is probably going to win that. But then Ojiru comes in, captures Pony, and she says in English, she's like, "Oh no, I've been captured in the most ordinary way. What the heck?" And we think all is good. We think Pony is done for. But no, she uses her horns to move Ojiru and slam both her and Ojiru into jail. Throughout it, we got to see, like, I don't know if Ojiru was in, like, a lot of pain, a lot of physical pain. Or maybe there was something awakening with his quirk. We don't really know. He basically showed up, and he was fighting her. He was fighting Mr. Drill Boy, and they were having, you know, he was losing. He was easily losing that fight. He was getting the crap beaten out of him until Shoji finally showed up for the assist. And then kind of the main fight in this episode is going to be your Tetsu versus Shoto. And the cool thing about Tetsu is he's metal. So he can just smash through the ice. The ice isn't going to really stick to him. And heat-wise, he can withstand extremely high temperatures as long as he is in his metal state. However, we get some nice flashbacks to Shoto and his family. We're training with Endeavor, saying, you know, you got to burn hotter. You got to burn more and more and more. Get hotter. So that way nothing can touch you. And that's what he ends up trying to do with his fire and mess Tetsu up. But it's not really working. He's kind of getting the crap beaten out of him. And in a fist fight, you know, hand in hand, Todoroki, who heavily relies on his quirk, he's not really that good at hand-to-hand combat, you know, close quarters. He's definitely better at large range. He does create something that I call, it kind of reminds me of a mini spirit bomb at one point in time before everybody starts passing out, because yes, pretty much everybody passes out in this episode. He has this giant flame ball up high, and it just kind of like Dragon Ball Z spirit bomb moment is the best way to describe it. He's about to blast Tetsu with it, but then he ends up getting knocked out by a pipe. You know, Tetsu ends up getting knocked out from the heat. Ida and Juzo their fight kind of collides with Shoto's fight. Is what happens. And then, there's Class 1B does that final move, knocks down what looks like a silo, in my opinion, which ends up knocking Todoroki out. Tetsu passes out from heat exhaustion. Todoroki passes out probably from the same thing, heat exhaustion. Well, he actually got knocked out with a pipe, I should say. He got hit in the back of the neck with a pipe, knocked him out. Ida tries to save him, does end up saving him from getting crushed. But then we have 4 people that are just knocked out, and then we're down to Soji and Pony, who is fighting, and Pony is trying to, get all of her knocked out teammates away from him because, Soji could just pick them up, put them in jail, and they win. As with Pony, she can't physically beat Soji one-on-one. She doesn't have the abilities to, because Soji finally kind of figured out her quirk, got used to her quirk, and now there's really nothing she can do to defeat him. So she does kind of a, well, I guess it's not a bad thing. It's a draw. It ends up being a draw. She just flies up high, waits out the clock. I honestly thought she was just going to fly high with all of her teammates and Todoroki and just drop Todoroki off in the jail, ultimately winning it. But the problem is she's slowed down because obviously she's carrying 3 people, and that's some weight. That's 2 of her teammates and Shoto himself. That's some serious weight. And she cannot get to it in time, so it just waits at the clock, draws it away. But then on the other side of things that we got mentioned, it was like, a draw isn't the worst thing in the world, because ultimately when you're trying to save civilians or knock people out, it doesn't really matter if you're in the jail or you're working with teammates. It's important that you get them away from the danger. And I did kind of like that message. It's like, it's not always about winning or losing. Sometimes it's just about getting people away from a situation where they can be seriously injured for the foreseeable future, and just be done with that. Don't deal with it. Just gone, done. That's all she wrote. Get out of the situation. Leave somebody else to the villain for another day, and that's kind of Pony's thinking on it. So it ended up being a draw. Nobody was really seriously hurt, although Ida did have an arm wrapped up and a leg wrapped up, so we don't know how seriously injured he is. But you got Recovery Girl kissing everybody's boo-boos, making him better. Tetsu showed up, Juzo showed up, and he was like, hey, let's fight again sometime. This was a good fight, good, excellent sparring match. All of us gave it our all to the point where we literally passed out. We should definitely do this again in the foreseeable future. They agreed. That's kind of where the episode ended. Next episode, we're going to have Bakugo's team versus some members of Class 1B. I don't think we've ever seen them. I'll be honest. They showcased this one girl. Let me see if I think it was Yui Kodai. We don't really know anything about her. They showed her off wearing, the skin tight suit, so they got to throw in that sex appeal. Heaven forbid they don't throw in the sex appeal for one episode. But and next episode definitely looks interesting. Looks like it's going to be an interesting fight. I don't know if that's going to be like a 1 episode thing. My guess it's going to be minimum 2. But this kind of arc was like basically 3 episodes. This class fight, and then obviously we are going to end with Midoriya in there. We are going to have what's his face in there as well. Oh, I gotta find his name. Why can't I find it? Oh, it's so annoying. Hold on. We'll edit this out. Yep. I'm just going to put my hand up, so I'm going to have to edit this out. And then we're going to end with the final fight, which is going to be Sinjo kind of versus Deku again. We're probably going to see Deku get hypnotized, see him go into One for All yet again, and maybe talk with the past successors of One for All, minus just the first successor, because the only one he was able to talk to was the first one. Obviously, there's a lot more than that, so we'll just have to wait and see how that whole situation pans out. But this was an excellent episode. This is definitely an 8 out of 10 episode very easily. Nothing wrong with the episode, really, other than people are kind of getting boring because it's not high stakes. There's really no mentality in it. It's more of just a training arc, showing off some people's new abilities. A couple of these characters, though, they got to get on their abilities. I feel like Todoroki, his abilities haven't seemed to have gotten any better. He doesn't seem like he's gotten any stronger, where Class 1B seems to have clearly gotten stronger, versus Tetsu. It seems like Tetsu did some serious training. against hot and cold for the situation. Ojiro in 1A, he doesn't seem like he's really gotten any stronger either. Mentally as well. Like, he needs to be, if he can't physically overpower his opponent with his kind of extra limb there, he's got to mentally think of what to do, because he ended up having to get saved by Ida. He had to end up getting rescued by Ida, get out of the situation, having Ida throw the other guy in prison for him. He wasn't going to win that battle with the drilling, where he was constantly getting hammered on all the time, getting hurt more and more and more and more. So, I mean, we're definitely seeing some of the weaker characters versus the stronger characters, and that there's definitely a large difference in strength between some of these people, some of these future heroes. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all ends up panning out in the foreseeable future too. I don't know if we'll get an Ojiro episode, because there was something wrong with him. I don't know if it was just indications that he was in serious pain, or indications that, there was something going on with his quirk, that maybe he is going to grow a second tail. Who knows? In the foreseeable future. But great episode overall. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and as always, have a good one.